I'd like to welcome you to BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth. Here in Annapolis with the Comptroller, Peter Franchot. How are you?
I'm terrific, Donnie, and boy, if I could just in my career get one half the number of awards you've gotten, I'd be happy. You've got such a long legacy of accomplishments. It's great to talk to you.
Pleasure's ours. On the night that we were celebrating the 10th anniversary, you were making another move.
Yes, I announced that I'm running for reelection to Comptroller, and a lot of people were disappointed. They wanted me to run for governor. That's okay. Mrs. Franchot's delighted that I'm going to keep my job, hopefully, with the voters' approval, and just keep doing what I've been doing, which is urging good taxpayer service. I want every Marylander to know that they have access to my office. I want tax fairness for small businesses so that people feel as if they've got someone at their back. And I'm going to be working on financial literacy tremendously hard, because I want to bring that concept of fiscal responsibility to the Board of Public Works that I serve on, and make sure that the taxpayers get respect for the revenues that they give the state, and we spend the money wisely and efficiently. And that's a very good vision for the future, and I'm delighted to have made the choice now. And people say, well, how do you feel? I feel great. Governors come and go in Maryland because they're term limited, but comptrollers tend to stay.
Minority business, that's been a staple of your administration. Will you continue to push the ball?
Absolutely. We've, as you know, opened up the state retirement portfolio so that now almost $3 billion is invested with women and minority money managers. They earn fees just like Legg Mason and the big boys, and they deliver a great product to the members of the retirement system. And on the Board of Public Works, the governor and I have partnered. We're talking billions of dollars of contracts going to new women and minority-owned companies. And it's not a perfect system, but it's a system that I strongly support, and will continue to do so in the future. But here's the thing. It's not just minorities and women that need help from the state. The whole private sector is struggling to get up off its knees right now in Maryland. They have a tremendous problem with private sector wage growth, which is almost dead last in the country. And we in Maryland, as Democrats, since we're a Democratic state, we really need to pay attention to the private sector and follow through on our rhetoric. You know, the Democrats keep saying we want to create jobs. Well, where are the private sector jobs in Maryland? And where exactly is the accountability?
Well, who do you believe these days? I mean, on one news clip, Maryland is most fiscally sound in the state. On another news clip, where we have a bunch of jobs. On another news clip, there are no jobs. Who do you believe, Mr. Comptroller?
Well, I'm the only elected official that looks at the economic data every day. And yes, there's been a little bit of improvement. And we reported that the state budget is solvent now. It's getting enough money. But that's different from the Maryland economy. What I'm talking about is not Annapolis. I'm talking about the rest of the state, where people are really struggling as far as employment and what they're getting paid for. I can pretty much guarantee you that any objective view of the Maryland economy is that it's a very weak and anemic recovery, that we're going around and around in a circle and we're not growing. That's not the end of the world. We're going to have a happy ending. But we've got to roll up our sleeves and recognize that we have a problem in creating jobs for people. We don't have a problem in saying we want to create jobs or jobs are good. That rhetoric is all over the place. But it's very cheap to say it. The key is, where are the jobs? And that's going to be a focus for me as comptroller, to hold the feet of my own party to the fire.
Is that difficult? I mean, this is a 2-to-1 state in terms of Democrats to Republican. Is it particularly hard when you're in charge? Does the bully have no one to check it at the door?
Well, no, I've got a good pulpit, which is the Board of Public Works every 2 weeks. And I have the data. And I also have the backbone to say, look, sure, we're all inspired by hope, but hope is not an economic strategy.
Any final thoughts?
No, just great to be with Donnie Glover, and thank you for what you've done for the state. My God, since you were a grade school student, I mean, it has just been a fabulous contribution to our state's history and legacy, and I want to thank you on behalf of people that don't have a voice and don't have access to important people. Thank God for Donnie Glover.
Bless the Lord. Thank you for you, Mr. Comptroller. Thank you for standing up for the people through the last election when people didn't know what to vote for. Thank you for sticking to your guns.
Hey, well, I'll tell you what. I don't know what everyone thinks gambling is, but I'll tell you it's the opposite of financial literacy and fiscal responsibility. That is way over on the other extreme. And so, folks, protect yourselves. Don't get sucked into this fancy new activity of gambling because the house always wins.
You've heard it.
Thank you.
Keep watching BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth.